Ymitri,
a year after you left school.
you wake up during the middle of the night. And it's very sudden, and you just have like a sudden awareness about you. And you see that everybody else is still asleep, although Satina seems to be like, rustling around in bed. She seems kind of restless. You hear her muttering something to herself, but you can't quite make it out. You hear some scrabbling noises outside the door.
I'm just gonna like pause for like a moment and just listen in best I can. Does it just sound like scratching? Does it get louder or quieter or anything, or change in a place on the door? Does it get low or high?
It's in the hallway outside, and you don't hear any change in volume over time. Like maybe it gets slightly louder, but
both Ray and Satina are in the bed?
Yeah.
I'm gonna, since I'm on the floor, I'm decently close to the door, so I'm gonna scoot over, kind of staying in the prone position and then like reach up and kind of lean against the wall, sitting down and look through the crack of the door, open it a couple inches and look down the hallway.
You don't
I'm kind of
see
being quiet about it.
Anything, but you do notice that the sound seems to be coming from around the corner at the end of the hall, going downstairs to the lobby.
Okay, so no source of this, any oddness upstairs, seems like. Can I get a gauge on what time of night it is right now, or how long I've been asleep for? Like, am I angry? Like, was I asleep for just like an hour and a half?
It is the dead of night right now.
Okay. I'm gonna just I'm just wearing like PJs kind of esque clothes, which means I'm unarmored, which is nice. But anyway, I'm gonna get up and shuffle down the hallway quietly, try not to wake people up like a normal person. Does it seem like anyone else is awake at all or noticing this?
So nobody else is awake to your knowledge. You hear some noises of some tavern goers downstairs, and as you get out into the hallway, you hear this noise coming from beneath you.
Is this the first time I've heard it?
Yep.
Somebody's hungry.
Does Rhea get any passive perception on this?
Nope.
Okay. Just had to ask. He got passive perception when he was asleep, so...
There's story reasons.
That's okay.
Coming
Get
from
away with
below me,
anything
wooden
if you just
floor,
say
right?
there's story
Panels,
reasons. What was that?
wooden floor panels,
Yeah.
and I'm now on the first floor, right?
Mm-hmm.
Nothing in the lobby.
Oh, in the lobby. So after you go downstairs, you see in the lobby that there are a handful of people playing poker. One of them slams down their hand, full house! And the other one's just like, damn it, Jacob, you always cheat! And then they get into an argument before the bartender's like, hey, none of that shit here! None of them seem to notice you.
I'm gonna try to go still on the first floor within the bar area to where I might think directly underneath where I heard the sound was on the second floor. And is there any change? And also, does it look like do I have to push past people at all?
So it is like, it's not super crowded, but you do walk past the table of poker players, and like you're still a little tipsy, so you like you stumble a little and like put your arm on one and almost fall forward as your arm just kind of phases through them.
Yeah.
You hear the noise again, this time clearly coming from a door leading behind the counter that the tavern the barkeep stands at.
It's just this audible sound still.
Yep.
Is anyone back there? Talking like towards the door.
No response.
Okay, it doesn't sound like you speak anyway. I'm gonna brush my hand through a person again, and it looks like everyone's like participating in this like weird thing, right? That's going on. Like
nobody else seems to give any acknowledgement that something's wrong.
Right on. I'm gonna go towards the door then, and I'm going to first listen closely and then eventually put my hand to the door and see if it feels any different. I'm just gonna jump over the counter pretty much.
Yeah. All of the like stationary non-person objects feel solid to you, and the door seems normal. Okay. If anything, it's a little cold to the touch.
Right. I'm gonna look around again, turn around back to the bar. Well, shit. And I'm gonna pour myself 2 shots. Okay. I'm gonna find something clear and something dark, and then some kind of fruits, and take my time. This takes good 3-4 minutes. Probably that weird stuff.
The noise becomes clear as you're doing this, and you can make out a word.
All right. And I'm going to use 2 actions to tentacular limbs both my arms and kick the door through and walk in.
Okay.
And with tentacle arms.
You see before you a staircase leading down, and the staircase itself is just like pitch black, and you see this faint light at the bottom and some sobbing, rustling noises.
I don't think that's part of the floor plan. I'm gonna go down the steps. I'm kind of going confidently, just forward until until something stops me.
Okay.
But I'm not gonna make a turn.
So you go down the stairs, and at the bottom, you see before you something quite gruesome. A woman convulses in the corner as a pile of substances you'd rather not examine too closely. On top of a pile of substances you'd rather not examine too closely. Suffice to say that you have to stifle a retch as this stench pierces into your nostrils. But worse, a gray figure hovers over her, covered in eyes rapidly turning in every direction and made of undulating tubes of soggy sinew and viscera. It begins to
How many eyes?
A lot. It begins to rip open her skull as if it were a piece of fabric. Wider, wider, ever wider, until finally the creature, a hulking 6-foot-tall thing looming over its now whimpering victim, crawls inside. You see the skull snap back into place as if it were a solid thing and nothing had ever been wrong. The woman stands up unnaturally, as if she were holding inside her a skeleton not entirely made for her body, and her head and eyes snap towards you. You hear a gurgling voice issue from her. "Seek us, our child." You awake suddenly back in your bed, back on the floor, pooled sweat beneath you, while Satina crouches over you on all fours, a wild look in her eyes.
I don't have a mom. Satina. Hey.
Your mother, your father.
What time is it?
They call for you. I heard them in my sleep.
You heard what?
Your mother and father. I heard them. They call for you.
Tina, what are you saying? You're scaring me.
The Ordenists.
I don't have...
They come.
Does she look different right now?
Oh, she looks wildly out of sorts.
Am I still asleep?
You can roll for passive perception now. Well, you can roll for perception now.
Okay.
Let's say like a
Now
15.
it's no longer a dream that he's having.
Exactly a 15.
Okay, so you're kind of like in that in-between state of like, you're starting to realize that something's going on.
Starting to be a little lucid, but also not
Yeah.
entirely awake. Okay.
They offer in one hand an olive branch, and in the other a sword. Choose wisely, lest you suffer the fate of that which you've seen. And then she just collapses on a heap on top of you.